I am currently reading Untamed. It is the fourth book in the House of Night series. There are currently 10, I believe. I think more are going to be written, so it's a pretty long series. Zoe Redbird is the name of the main character. She got marked, so she has a tattoo on her forehead that symbolizes that she's a fledgling. She's a different fledgling. She is soon to be the high priestess of the vampires. So her tattoo goes all around her body, as you can see right here. That's part of her tattoo. And at the moment right now, she had just been in a three boyfriend relationship at the moment, so she originally just got off that. So now she's currently talking to her human ex-boyfriend right now, trying to get everything settled. I like the book because I like vampires and they're not sparkling. It's really interesting how the writer talked about imprinting, where when a fledgling links his or herself to another person. Whenever one person is thinking, the other person will think it as well. So they're imprinted. It also was very descriptive on the blood sucking.
This is the Mistborn book. It's by Bryan Sanderson, which I started reading from another series. This is the first book of the Mistborn trilogy. In this book, then it starts out where the bad guys already won. In this world, then the evil emperor is ruling the world, and the main characters are all thieves living in that world. There's no system of magic in here, but there's a really sophisticated system called allomancy that uses physics and everything else by burning metals inside their body. Lots of political things in there too. A system of nobles and peasants and slaves. In this book, it's a whole other world. It's a lot more detailed. In this world, then, like, ash is constantly falling the sky. They have no idea what the color green even looks like.
Oh, weird.
Whenever they see trees, they think the color brown is just a natural color on them. Bryan Sanderson, he's a co-author for another series I like to read called The Wheel of Time.
So, I am reading with an e-reader, which is my favorite new little piece of technology that I got for Christmas. And what I'm actually currently working on, and I can't see the title right now, it's called The Deeds of the Disturber. And it is the fourth. It's the fourth book in the Amelia Peabody series, which is a really amazing series written by Elizabeth Peters, and it takes place in about Victorian time England, but it doesn't most of them don't take place in England. They take place in Egypt. Amelia Peabody in the first book has just inherited a bunch of money and has decided that she wants to travel the world. The first place she goes to is Egypt, and she makes a huge mistake in going there because she completely falls in love with it and decides she never wants to go anywhere else. So she has a home in England, but she also tends to visit Egypt very often, as she can manage. In the first book, she meets Evelyn, who becomes her best friend, her traveling companion, and she meets these two young men, the Emerson brothers, Radcliffe and Walter. And Walter is simply called Walter, but Radcliffe is called Emerson throughout the entire book series. And by the time we get to this book, this one actually has started off in England. She's just left, she and her son and her husband have just left Egypt for whichever trip it is, and have come home to England, and I'm not really certain what's going to be about beyond that. Most of her books are mysteries. What happens is somebody dies, or, somebody dies in one of them, but in the first one there's a mummy. It's called Crocodile and Sandbank, and there's a mummy that comes forward and starts haunting them, and they're trying to figure out who is the mummy because they know it's not real, because they are proper English people and don't fall prey to the superstitions of the Egyptians. And in the second one, someone dies and her husband takes over his position, and they have to figure out who is killing people that have entered this one vault. And in the third one, there is a master criminal that has both killed people and is stealing relics and whatnot, and she has to figure out who the MC is, and he actually appears multiple times. He's often called the master criminal. He's sometimes called Sethos, which is an Egyptian god, so it's really cool. Pretty excited about it. I'm only about 57 pages in, so I haven't had that much chance to see what's going on. The only thing that we really know is that there's a mummy that's walking around the British Museum, so once again, it's up to Miss Amelia Peabody to bust the case.